Just one more minute, please. Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to you for another session of Empowering Morning Conversations. So, this is to make your Sunday a wonderful Sunday and start the day on a wonderful note where you bring positivity and spread positivity all around. So, I'm handing over the baton to the host for the day, and that is Neeti Madhok. Over to you, Neeti.
Thank you, sir. This brings us to the 89th session of Empowering Morning Conversations. And we once again come together to uphold our motto, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. We are very lucky that we have this close group where we come together and we share all our challenges, achievements, and lot more. And here I would like all of you to please come up and share what your experience has been in the last couple of days, especially if yesterday you've had any breakthroughs or any breakdowns or any challenges, whatever you want to share about. Who would like to go first, please? Anybody would like to share something? I can see Vetrival is thinking of something.
Neeti, good morning, and good morning to sir. Good morning to everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ashinaji. The power of empowering morning conversation is the evidence just before happened. It doesn't make us to see things. Now, Neeti has seen what I'm thinking. We are going to the next level. Of course, a lot of great things are happening. I have something to share, but I just thought somebody can share, then I can come followed by that. Yesterday, I met two of my good friends who are connected through a different forum. We had a coffee meet. But the way I was talking, the way I was explaining the things, and they started to probe more about the programs, what we do, what Sir is doing. The conversation has become totally different. It was like an exploring session about Sukdeepak and coaching, because I didn't promote it, but it so happened in such a way that I can see their curiosity. I even put an audio message to Sir that something is happening outside because we have been trying to do something inside. Don't get disappointed. We are all changing. So with this share, I just hand over back to Neeti Madam. Neeti Madam, you are doing a wonderful job. Over to you.
Thank you, Vetrival. And yes, you're very right. Now we have started seeing that difference. There is an external difference in our being and the way we conduct ourselves. People are turning around and observing the change and giving us positive feedback. You're very right over there. And thank you for bringing it up in this forum. Who would like to share next? I think Reddy Garusa is wanting to speak.
Good morning,
Yes,
everyone.
sir. Morning, sir.
Yesterday, I conducted a webinar on architects in nature by one Mr. S. Karthikeyan, who is a nature lover and a photographer. And he has shown us how the ants, how the birds build their nests, how they, it's amazing to know how the termites maintain constant temperature in their mounds. So as if they are having an air condition inside their mounds. It's amazing to know that. And I conducted this webinar for our alumni, because we have a college alumni association. We are from College of Engineering, Tirupati. So people appreciated that. And in fact, the questions they asked are very interesting. They say that, see, this generation of insects, they know how to build this. But how do next generation know about this? Then he answered that it is in their genes. They automatically build. Because that's what very interesting to know. Because now there are so many architects who does all the planning and how to make a building more comfortable. But they know naturally. That's what is nature. That's what I learned yesterday. Thank you.
Very true, sir. Animals have this natural instinct on the survival mode. They also have the strong instinct on how they can cure themselves if they are not feeling very well. Those of us who have pets, we see that regularly. So you would understand that. That's great. Who would like to? I think Suresh sir was sharing something in the beginning before we started the session. Suresh sir, can we have your story for everybody?
Yeah, yesterday I had a great food. One of my old friends called me. She did perform puja at home and called me for a lunch. And it is on banana leaf. In cities, having a food in banana leaf is so excited. Always. The items are so many, like vada, payasam, I enjoyed it very well. And after that, the moment I have come back, this 18th is my birthday. So by the time I have come, my children have brought one shirt and t-shirt for me. That was so excited.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So we look forward to your coming birthday.
Yeah,
That's so nice. And yes, a meal back to the basics on a banana leaf is always very welcoming. It
Yeah.
takes you back to your basics, to your roots.
Yeah. I will change the background for a while. Then
And tempt all of us.
yeah, see what are the items I had.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Who would like to share next?
Nitiji, if time permits,
Thank
I
you.
would like to add a point which is something related with Reddy Garu's sharing. I feel like sharing.
Definitely. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Reddy Garuji. You have given us a very good sharing, which is so wonderful. Again, Sureshji is tempting banana leaf. Sorry for the interruption. That animals and birds has got a gene which can create things in a very superior order. We all know that. We always admire that. But one question we should put it to our mind that what is the best thing we have as a human? The answer is we can always has the ability, we have ability to better it. For example, a honeybee is making that hive. For the billions of years, it makes in the same order. It doesn't mean that it is lower, but it cannot better it. But as a human being, whatever we have, whatever is there in our gene, we have the ability to better it. So that is what the forum we are coming here. We are just trying ourselves to break that cell and going to the next level. That's what I just want to add into Redikar sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing with us. Thank you. Over to Reddy.
That's exactly why we are here. We have the ability to be a better version of ourselves. Great, thank you. Who would like to share next? Kuldeep sir, आपने अभी तक कुछ सुनाया नहीं है.
Good morning, Niti ji. Good morning, friends.
Good morning, sir.
मैं आपको एक छोटा सा संदेश सुनाता हूँ कवि की भाषा में।
जी, इरशाद।
जिंदगी को खुलकर जीने के लिए, जिंदगी को खुलकर जीने के लिए एक छोटा सा उसूल बनाएं। जिंदगी को खुलकर जीने के लिए एक छोटा सा उसूल बनाएं। रोज कुछ अच्छा याद रखें और रोज कुछ बुरा भूल जाएं।
ब्यूटिफुल, ब्यूटिफुल, वंडरफुल। आप भी ट्रांसलेट कर दीजिए, बहुत सिंपल है पर बहुत डीप मीनिंग है।
Poet says कि if we want to live life fully, this is a simple formula. Every day remember something good and every day forget something bad.
Wonderful. Dr. Kunayan.
Thank you so much, Nidhi ji, and very good morning. कुलदीप सर, आपकी नज़र
हाँ जी।
शेर व शायरी का मामला ये होता है कि क्षमा आगे बढ़ते रहनी चाहिए। तो अर्ज क्या है कि जो मिला कोई ना कोई सबक दे गया, जो मिला कोई ना कोई सबक दे गया, अपनी जिंदगी में हर शख्स उस्ताद निकला। अपनी जिंदगी में हर शख्स उस्ताद निकला। This couple is coming to my mind right now also connects what Sir always says, that each and every moment, every experience in our life provides an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. So just to continue, yesterday it was a holiday for me, so I spent time with children, and during the moment I realized that something is happening which is against the wish or my desire in that specific moment. And what's a good thing happened is that I started being aware of what's happening inside, what kind of thoughts coming. And then to my surprise, this statement of Sir was from the background coming. So I was so happy and pleased that I'm being aware. And then when I thought that how can I become better version of myself in this moment, the answer came that change your thoughts from negative to positive. So there were certain moments when I was about to react in a negative manner, but with the awareness, with this message in the background, I chose to become positive by using positive thoughts. So that's the power of this morning conversation, and that's what I'm enjoying. So thank you so much, Sukhdeepak sir, and back to you, Niti ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's really very encouraging when we notice within ourselves the process of change. That is so encouraging. Wonderful. Raghu sir, you were wanting to speak.
Today no. Still
Haan
not.
ji.
I'm not getting
Good
it.
morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm not getting it. Someone can take it up.
You had raised your hand a little while back.
No, I was clapping for.
Oh, okay. All right. But since you are in the focus now, would you like to share something with us?
Nothing I could able to think of. I just slept late and then very late I slept and I joined. Still, I'm not getting into the
Today
moment.
is an important day. He took over as a president of a Toastmaster club, and today he is going to attend his first meeting as a president. So far, we look up somebody as a president. Now today is Raghu is president.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is why you didn't sleep last night, huh?
No, there is some work to be done. Yes, there are work to be done for that. So
I mean, that is to be done in the evening, Baba.
so
Get
the last,
excited in the evening. Now be excited for what we are doing here.
yeah. No, last year I should do it.
You know?
Last year I should do it with my role what I took, but somehow we didn't. I didn't get the proper guidance on that what to do. So last 2 days it was too much of work on that.
Right. So great. All the very best to you. Do a wonderful job, Prabhu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Sir, would you like to take over the session for a few minutes now?
No, you carry on. You're doing fine.
Okay.
All right. Okay, good morning, everybody. So we've got a little surprise for you. Not really a surprise because some of you know, and everybody knows Neeti by now, and you've listened to her sharing. And one of the reasons I've asked her to take the session is that I'm very happy with the way she's taken every input that I give and implemented it. It's been a long struggle for her, I can tell you, and she can tell you herself. But finally, now that she's done it, she's like really expressing and showing you that she is, just like you, a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being. Right? So she's an example of what can happen if you start using what you learn. She's an example of what can happen if you can start doing what you learn. So that's the reason why she is here today. So welcome, Neeti, and do your thing. We're looking forward with bated breath. Give her a big hand.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Yes.
For me to the appreciation is going on. So I would like to add Mr. Vitrivel also is taken over charge in our club, and he is going to open the meeting for the next 25 meetings in this year.
Yeah, remember that button, Neeti, at the bottom right.
Okay. Yes. So I will now come to the topic of discussion for today, where I am sharing with you the conscious step from default mode to the awareness state. Crossing, it's an imaginary line that exists in our mind, or rather a physical line exists in our mind, but actually it's only an imaginary line that exists between the default mode and the awareness state. And my PPT today and my sharing today is on how easy it is to cross this imaginary line and move into the awareness state, which is the new default state. It is as simple as walking to the other side of the room. And to be able to do that, all we need is an open mind, because an open mind identifies opportunities and possibilities. Now, what do we mean by that? With an open mind, we are more receptive to information that comes our way. We are more receptive to what others are speaking, what others are talking about, what others are sharing. This also means that others feel comfortable in sharing in our presence, and they are not scared to express themselves to us. It also means that they feel comfortable sharing, knowing the fact that you may or may not be in agreement with what they say, but they have the comfort of sharing with you, which is a very important factor. And all of us have a professional side, and we know how important it is to have this quality in us. The other important aspect of having an open mind is we become very good listeners. And once we are a good listener, we begin to ask the right questions that takes us to finding the right solution to the problem on hand or the situation on hand. So an open mind is the key to a lot of things, to streamline a lot of things, and to have a good grasp on a lot of things. We end up having we will build a higher problem solving skill. We develop better interpersonal skills, and yes, of course, we have clearer communication skills. People with an open mind are really optimistic, and they are a strong person. So having an open mind is only a mental attitude change where we do not want to react to what the other person is saying, but we want to listen to what they want to say and why they are saying so. So an open mind is the first step to walk over to the other side of the room. The second step is knowing your strengths to overcome your weaknesses.
Neeti.
Yes, sir.
Open mind is when you recognize whenever you have your attention fixed on something negative, or whenever your attention is on a fixed point of view, that you're not willing to accept any other point of view. When your mind is open, then you know that your point of view is only a point of view, and the other people's point of view is equally valid. So you're more willing to listen and to get that point of view. And as you remember, I've been saying, true communication begins with the willingness to accept another person's point of view without changing it. And that happens only when you're open, right? Thank you, Niti, for what you shared. Carry on.
Thank you. I think there is an audio open. Somebody's audio is open.
I'll
Can
take it.
everybody please check? There's a disturbance coming.
Yeah, that is Mr.
Yes.
This fellow's.
All right. The next step in this process is knowing your strengths to overcome your weaknesses. We all have a lot of strengths, and like every human being, we do have a few weaknesses. We very often overlook our strengths and get overpowered by our weaknesses because our weaknesses get us feedbacks that we are not able to accept. And that's where the entire tussle within our own selves begins. There are ways of identifying our own strengths. If I asked you to list your own strengths, list 5 strengths, some people may be able to list 3 or 4, and some may not be able to list more than 1, because that is how we look at ourselves. And sir over here for the last 89 sessions has been trying to drill it into us that we need to recognize our strengths. One of the easiest ways of recognizing your strengths is if we make a group of about 8 to 10 people from our family and close friend circles and take their feedback on what they see the positive in us and where they feel we can improve ourselves. Now that list is not complete unless we add from our end what we feel is our strength, what we feel we are good at, and what we feel we can effortlessly give an output to. Each one of us are very aware of the circumstances today, and we need to identify what are the areas of our interest where information gathering is concerned, where learning more about is concerned. And a good example of this is about 3 months back, each one of us took a decision to be here in this forum because we wanted to know more, we wanted to develop this aspect of ours further. Therefore, we are here to develop our strengths a little further than where we were standing about 3 months back. Then we need to also know what are the typical patterns that follow in our life, or what are the typical patterns we see in our life. That will also give us an idea of where our strengths lie. For example, if we take Hasina ji over here, she loves cooking. And I think she must be cooking for the last 50, 60 years. And if she cooked, let's say, 1 dish per meal, 3 meals in a day, 3 meals in a day into 1 year is over 1,000 dishes. Over 50, 60 years, you can do the calculation, plus all the celebrations and ceremonies where she cooked maybe 8, 10 dishes. She's done business in food. So all those dishes, so you can imagine the kind of strength she has in cooking. So we need to understand this. Today, if Hasina ji has to come out with a recipe book, I think her recipe book would be over 1,000 pages, well over 1,000 pages. So that is where her strength lies. And that is where she should be very happy. I'm sure similarly, she's got other strengths. We've seen examples of her paper craft. So she has a lot of strengths. We need to, each one of us are gifted with strengths. We need to identify our strengths and develop them further. These strengths are in us to take us further, not to pull us back. Weaknesses, where weaknesses are concerned, we have weaknesses in 2 categories. One is a normal slip up. One is where we need to correct ourselves. The normal slip-ups are, that do not really harm anybody, and the ones that we need to really work on, they may not harm anybody, but they are harming us. Harming us in the sense, either they slow us down or they slow down our progress, or such a weakness is not letting me be more positive, is not letting me see new possibilities. It could be anything of that nature. So it is very important to do a self-analysis on what my strengths are and how I can use my strengths to overcome my weaknesses. Sir, would you like to add something to strengths and weaknesses?
See, the only thing I want to say is that if we start giving attention to the hundreds of achievements that we have, then you may find that why are you labeling yourself only by a few failures that you might have? So if, let's take a moment for a few people to share with us some of their strengths. That might be a good idea. At least
Yes,
you'll
sir.
remember them.
All right, who would like to share some of their strengths? Who would like to speak? Or rather, who would like to speak first?
Yeah, so I
Yes.
think I have a strength of, confidence. I have positive, I am more kind of an optimistic person, and I love cooking. So these are my strengths, I think.
And you're a
Wonderful.
good doctor, are you not?
Yeah, I'm a doctor too. Yeah.
You're a good doctor. Are you an average
Yes.
one or a mediocre one?
I'm an okay one, I guess.
Yeah, so if you want to diminish yourself, it's up to you. You ask the
Yeah.
people who report to you and see what they think. You'll be quite surprised.
Yeah.
Mediocre people cannot survive in your hospital, you know that?
That's true. Yeah.
So that makes you what? Special or ordinary?
Yeah, special kind of like,
Very good. Thank you very much for sharing.
Okay, thank you so much. I was
I have a
thinking of
que-
sharing in the beginning, but I got blocked. Somehow I got stuck. Yeah.
I have a question for Suja, sir. Suja, I have a question for you since you are a doctor with the pediatrics. Can you give me a figure, a numeric figure of how many mothers have you made them smile with happiness?
Yeah.
So I cannot number it a lot. Yeah.
So maybe 1,000,
Probably. Yeah.
maybe 2,000.
Yeah. So I have been working for the last 20 years, so probably.
Maybe more than 4,000.
Yeah. If everything together, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that is it a minor achievement? Huh?
Yeah,
How
when
many
I take it
blessings?
like, I think it is a big achievement. I have a lot of positive moments, not a lot of negative moments also. Like,
He
Yeah.
can also write a book now. How many pages
Well,
you don't?
really?
4,000 pages.
that's true. Yeah.
Very true, very true. Just to cite another example, Suresh sir, you're into insurance for so many years.
Yeah.
You sell insurance, and I'm sure you help your clients get the claims when the time comes.
Yeah.
Can you give me a numeric amount of what is the value of claims that the families have got till together, a total value of the claims that you've helped your clients receive?
Almost around 4 crores.
Wonderful. How many families have benefited out of it?
Almost 70%. I have 1,200 clients in my list. Out of that, 70% people have, if not this year, next year, like that. And they have got
Wonderful.
clients. Yes.
Yes, so that's so much of financial stability coming to so many people.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I enroll people also to sell insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great, great. Thank you. Kuldeep sir, I have one question for you. Kuldeep sir, can you give me a numeric of how many people have you led in your life?
I spent 30 years in Indian Navy.
Yes, sir.
And in these 30 years, my last tenure was the Deputy Director General NCC Orissa.
Yes,
So,
sir.
where I have trained more than 2 lakh cadets.
So training नहीं, in your entire professional life, leadership role में आपने कितनों को lead किया है?
Maybe a few thousand, maybe about 10,000 people.
Wonderful. Or more than that?
Maybe more than that. Maybe.
Wonderful.
If you include those, my NCC tenure, many of them, then I was a resource faculty in Orissa for 7 years after my retirement.
Yes.
So
that adds up.
As a human resource trainer for the Utkal University and the various technical and management institutions. So people might have got benefited, whatever we interacted.
They definitely got benefited. Thank you, sir. So I think we've exhibited good amount of strength. And yes, during the session, we've also come to know about Raghu sir's recent achievement and the strength that he is coming out with in his Toastmasters role. So I think members over here have exhibited one of their strengths very well, and similarly, they're gifted with many more. The next step in this process is to be consistent and true to yourself. This is the most challenging one, where we have to be consistent and true to ourselves. It's very easy to be true to somebody else, true to your word that you've given to somebody else, because you are in the fear that the other person is going to judge you or hold it against you. But being true to yourself and being consistent to yourself is the biggest challenge, where many struggle. So the way we can be true to ourselves is we set our goals and not make it very big, but we set our goals that we can achieve, then we can reset another set of goals. We can go back and visit our goals and upgrade them every now and then. And the goals should be such that we can break them into bite-sized pieces so that we are able to achieve them step by step. Everything is done one step at a time, one drop at a time. You go up a 14-floor building one step at a time. You fill a glass of water one drop at a time. So it's the same thing. We have to be like that to ourselves. And once we've promised ourselves that this is what I'm going to do for myself, we have to be true to that. We have to honor our own words for ourselves. We cannot put our own selves last in the priority. We have to give ourselves priority to achieve what we set out to achieve. Otherwise, we become victims of procrastination. So the only way we can do this is discipline and being true to our own selves. We judge ourselves and we hold ourselves in not a very high position because we end up failing or not being true to our own selves at many instances. We give priority to something else and we leave aside our wish or our desire or our work, and then it keeps lying in the background till there is a bigger problem and we need to address it. So we need to give ourselves position in our priority list, and we need to attend to the needs of our own selves. Breaking up of each task into small bits is very important because that gives you the sense of achievement as you go ahead. And this requires only one thing, that is commitment to your own self. So to be consistent and true to yourself is very, very important in the process.
One question for everybody. How committed are you to your life? 10%, 20%, 50%, 100%?
100%.
Okay.
It is 100%. Sir. It is 100%, but the pace may be changing time to time. Since I mean Niti ji was talking about goals and all that, I would like to share. My goal is to make people to identify their goals I mean, those who are confused to identify their goals, make them to realize their goals and achieve them, plan them. This is my goal.
Right.
So this is a part of my financial planning. So whomever I meet, I talk to them, I make them realize, I make them to think what is their goal, what for they are looking for, identify. If they are planning financially to achieve that, I'll make a plan how to achieve it and explain them.
So we have similar roles in our personal lives also, and we have a similar role for ourselves also.
Yes, yes, same, similar. I mean, it's a kind of a road, everyone can walk on that, whether it is your choice whether to walk on road or walk on the grass or whatever.
Right. Thank you. The next stage brings us to listening to our own intuition. Our intuition is our inner voice, the gut feeling that communicates with us. We all are aware of our intuition, but what we are not aware of is our intuition speaks to us once, it leaves us with the one word. It could be a word of caution, or it could be a vibe or a dream, or it just draws our attention on an aspect that we are not looking into. That is our intuition speaking to us, and we need to recognize this voice and we need to attend to it. It's a common habit. We don't in the beginning we tend not to listen, and once you start ignoring your intuition begins, or rather your intuition stops speaking to you. If you honor your intuition, if you listen to it, it will continue speaking to you. I'm sure you all have had instances when the intuition has spoken to you on something, has said something to you, and it has worked very well. Dr. Suja, would you like to tell us if in your role as a doctor, do you only look at reports plus minus and then do the diagnosis, or there is a role of intuition also?
I have intuitions, but when I treat my patients, I go only by diagnosis and lab findings,
But for the diagnosis also, does intuition play a part? Does it give you yes, you're backed with a lot of knowledge and experience that shows you the path to follow, but is there a time when intuition does play a role that, maybe this test needs to be done, maybe this needs to be checked?
Probably for treatment part, here we have specific guidelines, for each diseases we have to go through. So probably in that part, like, intuition also comes, take a place, but only by intuition, I don't treat patients.
No, not only by intuition, but it has to be backed by proper
probably it is
and
backed by intuition
procedure.
also, like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, when sick patients, sometimes I feel like, I cannot get this baby back, but finally it turnarounds and comes, So I have that hope of, so I think that
the hope does come from within.
Yeah.
Yes, the hope does come from within. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share an instance? Sandeep sir, you've not shared anything this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Ma'am, as far as the intuition is concerned, particularly whenever things go extremely good or they go bad, or suddenly we are in challenging situation or the opportunities open up, तो अंदर दिल की आवाज या दिमाग की आवाज कुछ तो होती है, and it really speaks to us actually. And I can correlate with so many intuitions that came to me. दिल की आवाज थी, मैं कुछ करने जा रहा था, it said कि don't do this, and sometimes we are compelled, and then we have to keep aside our dil ki awaaz, our intuition, and we do it. And then after several years, we find that that was the right intuition, and we are now ending toward disaster. It could be anything. It could be job. It could be taking a decision whether to stay in India or to stay abroad, or again come back to India. So this, I think, Vetrival ji bolte the na, if I would have said yes to everything, my life would have been totally different. So that is a one aspect. And intuition is, I think, a much, much powerful aspect. Intuition is dil ki awaaz, which really guides you to what is really, really right for you. Like one is logical thinking, and one is, like the vibes, the thoughts we have got. And I always feel that the biggest mistake that I have done, the biggest opportunities I have lost, the biggest losses that I have suffered, it's all because of the intuitions which told me to do certain things, but I did not follow it. At the same time, there are so many things I have done only because of intuition, like, going beyond our capacity, helping others, going beyond our capacity and trying to do everything for everyone, trying to make everyone happy. Here also, like it is sometimes there is a lot of, it could be inconvenience, there could be challenges, there could be failures, but dil ke awaaz says ki nahi beta, ja tu, kar tu. You do it, that is your job. And when we do it, we find tremendous happiness.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you have a fair experience of going with the
Absolutely.
intuition and
Lot.
going against the intuition.
A lot, a lot.
Right. That's great.
Niti, I want to share something about the institution and how
Hanji,
did it
please.
work.
Yes, sir.
When I took over in Odisha as a DDG NCC, there was one thing which there is a air squadron. Air squadron, they used to fly gliders, and somehow there is also a possibility of glider, as you know that they don't have engines. So I was working on that if we can have the aircrafts which have got the engine, and I could be able to procure 2 of them from the Ministry of Defense, 2 microlights. And they came there, and when they was being inaugurated, means there has to be a function, because first time in Odisha this was being happening. So I asked my officer in the directorate, which are 15 of them, and who do you think we can call him for that? And this was just, I only took over only about 2 months back. So they say, sir, we can call DG, the Director General of NCC from Delhi. I said, we are operating in Odisha. Whatever we are doing some benefit to the boys and girls of Odisha. Why not to the person from Odisha itself, my DG? They have advised me.
Somebody's audio is open.
Nitichi, you can mute.
Major sir.
Major sir.
So they say, sir, if you are thinking of calling Chief Minister, don't go there. 13 out of the 15 officers, they advised me like this. Why? No, there are so many reasons. First of all, he is anti-defense. He doesn't come in time. He doesn't stay more than 30 minutes in any of the meeting. And that time there was a great thing was going on, the de-investment. Arun Shourie is that de-investment of the private sectors. So there was a lot of things in press. He doesn't want to feel press. So better call DG. But I was always thinking in my mind, DG is actually what we are doing all the work for the Odisha, and why DG is involved, why not? So in fact, my institution said go to CM only. So I went to CM and I told him, sir, I have not called on you so far because I have not visited my units. Now there is something that happened that we have converted these gliders to microlights. And he said, what do you want from me? I said, I don't want anything from you. I just want you please tell me which date the flight should start. Now, what do you mean? And I said, I mean that the flying should be closest to your heart, because his father was a king. He was a great fighter, great pilot, and he rescued Sukarno in the World War after this from his son. As a fly, he owned an airlines, in fact. So I will close to your heart, and we are not having an Odisha. So please give us a date. He said, okay. So some date he said about 15 days afterwards. Will be all right, man. Everything's all right, whatever you are saying. So I have conveyed and I came there back. I said, well, this is CM has accepted it. Now there is no confusion. He has to come. And believe you me, he came only 2 minutes late. 2 minutes for a CM is at no instance we can say this is late. He stayed there for full 1.5 hours in our program. He interacted with cadets. He appreciated. We have put a model for the aero display which he visited. And the best thing was, since he has inaugurated, we could have never a problem of the fuel because fuel is given by the state.
Mhm.
So when CM has inaugurated, and next year to that, we stood first in all over India in the air competition in Delhi in Rajpath when we have 26 January. It's only because of one issue. Had it not called him, no fuel, nothing could have happened. We could not have sustained those flights. So this is how I give the whole credit to that institution which I worked on that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very good, very encouraging story. So you have some very, very impressive experiences in your life.
Varied experiences.
That brings us to the last point in this process, and that is age and time is no bar. When you decide to walk over onto the other side, age and time has no bar in the sense whether you are 16 or 66 or 86, it does not matter. Age does not matter. Time does not matter. It is not, the only time that matters is you being aware that you got to do it now. Now is the only time which is important. Time lost does not matter. Time in the future will fall into the right place if we are in it now. So being in awareness is as simple as being open to everything around you. It does not require, it does not require any special qualification. It does not require any special procedure to be followed. It does not require any qualification or development of any kind of a professional skill or anything. Nobody is going to send us a letter of appointment that we've, crossed to the other side of this imaginary line. It is our own internal realization that we have crossed over to the other side. Once you become more aware of things, you have a better confidence in handling every situation. That is the difference it makes in your life. That is the difference it makes in your dealings with people, where you are more open and receptive of other people. Like Sir said a few minutes back, your interaction with people increases multifold. Your level of understanding with people increases multifold. People's comfort level with you increases multifold. Whatever you do with whatever feelings, whether it is love or it is responsibility, whatever you send out comes back to you in multifold. That is what it means to be on the other side. And again, the screen is frozen.
Just one thing, everybody. The more, as we are getting older, the more we stay in participation, the healthier we are going to be. So one of the tendencies I've noticed is that as we are getting older, we are kind of cutting ourselves out of the circle of influence that we have. Okay. So it's becoming smaller and smaller due to many reasons, that everybody is infirm, we can't meet so often. And then every other day you hear about somebody or the other has passed away, but that's happening to everybody anyway, right? So instead of withdrawing, we can start participating. I mean, just look at the way Hasina ji, without fail, every day she comes to this meeting, or Kuldeep ji comes to this meeting, or Rao Garu comes, because they understand the value of staying connected with people. Because the more connected we are, the more we are aware that how we are slipping into the default mode. So if you don't take care, you will slip into the default mode. That's the way it is. Like, I keep saying, now I also started saying anyway. So every day, the negativity keeps bombarding us 24/7. Does it stop? It doesn't stop, right? It just goes on and on. So how do we counter it? We go on and on with our drive to remain positive and see the good side and generate positive feelings among ourselves and others. So the moment we give up, slowly and slowly we will slip back into the default mode. And just to remind you, what is the default mode? Reaction, resistance. How do you recognize default mode? When you start complaining in your mind, oh, why is it happening? Leave it, there's no need. What's the use? So you go back into your skepticism and say, what's the use? Right? So I keep saying to people, either you are alive or you are waiting to die. Which one do you want to belong to? I don't want to belong to waiting to die category, okay? I am alive, I generate life, I generate passion, and so do you, because you're coming and joining us. So let's look at Neeti's wonderful question today.
So the question is simple: is being in awareness all that difficult? Having gone through the entire presentation here, I would like to know from you all, yes or no, or anything more than that. Is it difficult to be in awareness? Is it so difficult to cross that imaginary line? Many of us have crossed, many of us are in the process of stepping onto the other side, and many of us still have to take that, give ourselves that little push. So I would like to know from you, if anybody would like to contribute, how they feel about this and where they stand. How did they cross the line, or how they are pushing themselves to step onto the other side? Anybody would like to share their experience?
Niti ma'am, can I go ahead?
Yes, yes, please do.
Yeah. Being awareness, I felt that it's not a difficult. I think it's easy to identify through our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
If you are feeling through feelings, it's easy to identify. We can be aware throughout the day.
That's wonderful. That's true. And since you must be practicing this, so what are the benefits that you feel in your activities?
If you are not aware of what you are thinking, what is things, you cannot change anything. Even you will be in the same state you are. So awareness is the first step. Once you're aware, then you can change anything, whatever you want, whatever the way you want. So awareness is the first step and the most important step.
Do you feel being in the awareness is having an impact on your energy levels?
Yes, ma'am, certainly. Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Anything else you would like to add?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to? Yes, Kuldeep, sir.
No, we are actually not aware that we are not aware. So the whole thing that there is nothing to be done. And if there is nothing to be done, there is nothing difficult. It is just to be a function of being. And being is actually our default mode. That is only to be a course correction is required in our naval terminology, which Mr. Sukhdeepak sir is giving to us. So it is nothing is to be done. When nothing is to be done, why it can be difficult? It is to be a mindset only.
We can make it being in the present as a default mode. See, if you learn to keep your attention in your control, and for that I have taught you exercises, how to keep your attention in your control. Okay, so your attention keeps getting pulled all the time. And you can recover it. When your attention is fixed on something, then you cannot be in the present. If you remember the exercise that we did, if you want, we'll do it tomorrow. So we can revise it for those who have forgotten. You keep doing it, you will be in the present. If you forget anything, just remember one thing. Cool down, take a break, look at 50 different objects one at a time with full attention. By the time you have looked at 25 objects, you will already be in the present moment. So it's very simple, actually. And once you do it enough times, it becomes a habit to do that. So then you are always in the default mode, in your new default mode, which is called being in the present moment, being in awareness. So it's pretty simple. Once you make this also, like Og Mendino always says, you know, it's a wonderful man. He says, as a human being, I'm a slave of my habits. So if I have to be a slave of my habits, I will form good habits and become their slave. So if I make habits which keep me in the present and which keep me in a state of awareness, then it is natural for me to do like that. See, when we were little children, when they taught us how to brush our teeth, it was an effort to do that. Tying the laces was an effort. Is it an effort now? No, because now that's become an habit. So let's make these good habits. And I can promise you one thing, one good habit you can form is coming here every morning to get this satsang, you know, being with positive people, thinking positive things, learning tools to empower yourself and to get out of the, you know, default mode and have a life of ease, joy and glory. So sometimes you need support. You know, when you're getting dragged into negativity, we need some people to drag us out also. So we are those people over here. Right, Neeti?
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Nitiji, one more thing I want to share.
Hanji.
As per my perception, why we are not practicing awareness for the two reasons. First of all, most of us, we do not know the importance of awareness. And second reason, which is more important, that we don't know that we don't know.
Right, sir.
So unless that input is there, many of us, they will not be able to start, which you have done very ably in this program.
Thank you, sir. I just want to leave all of you with one more thought. There is one daily action that each one of us does, but we do it in a default mode. That is, we open a jar of biscuits every day. Each one of us has opened a jar of biscuits, taken out the biscuit we want with our tea or coffee and walked away. But next, or rather today or tomorrow morning, when you open the jar of biscuit, if you can look into it with 3 extra seconds, you will find your mind flowing to connect with people. My son likes this biscuit. There's only one left. Let me leave it for him. My parents like this sugar-free biscuit. Let me go and ask them if they want this biscuit. That connection begins if we are able to be in the present and give that little few extra seconds to that task on hand. Those of us who are away from our families, when we look into the cookie jar and we find some cookies that back home my family likes, let me go online and order a delivery for them. That connect begins. That is the start point. The connection begins and then it just develops. You go with the flow of it. So it is as simple as opening a cookie jar in the morning and selecting your cookie and begin with the connect of it. That is what I would like to leave you with. Anything else anybody would like to say, or sir, would you like to say something?
I
Can I take a quick minute?
Rama and Vitrivel or anybody else who wants to say something before we close.
Thank you, sir. I take a quick minute. Two things I would like to share. One is Nitiji asked about intuitions. I can share a lot of things about intuition, but I reserve it for the future share. I would like to share one intuition which I get right now, which is Niti will become a very big trainer with
Why do you think I asked her?
with the help of Sukhdepak. And it is like Sachin Tendulkar has been introduced to a cricket match. First match he scores a century. That is evident. And second thing which I would like to share, which is related with the question of the day, is being in awareness all that difficult? No, I want to back up this with the Tamil, one of the greatest poem in Tirukkural. It says in Tamil, Allavai Theya Aram Perugum Nallavai Nadu Iniya Sollen. The first line meaning is Allavai Theya Aram Perugum, meaning if you reduce the negative things, the awareness is awaiting for you to explore. It is not that we go buy awareness in cages. What are the negative things we should elevate? Which negative things should be reduced? Sir rightly thought as judgment, reactions, resistance. All things, if you keep on removing it, the awareness is awaiting for us to embrace and live a beautiful life. So this is the thought I would like to share with you. The show is going wonderful. All the best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vitrival. Yes, you're right. Awareness is within us, accepting. We've got a lot of other toppings, and Sir is helping us remove all the toppings so that the awareness can emerge, and we can be more aware of what is within us. Very true.
All right. So I need to leave. So goodbye, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. So the formal part of the meeting is over. And you guys can continue to interact and share and question and debate. Okay, because I need to go.